680,000. That's the number of Chinese nationals who entered Ghana in just 1 year. Methodically, purposefully, they came with a single goal: to extract gold that didn't belong to them. They scarred the earth, polluted rivers, and razed forests. Yet they were often protected by the very systems meant to safeguard Ghana's resources. This isn't migration, it's exploitation. But in the village of Akran, nestled in the Shanti region, a change began. The community stood up, voices grew louder, and one name rang out: Anir Mahmubarak, a young Ghanaian parliamentarian who declared, "Enough is enough. Enough is enough." So we must ask, why do we stay silent as our homeland is stripped bare? Why do we remain quiet while our children drink contaminated water and our elders pass by craters where forests once thrived? This isn't just Ghana's struggle, it's a call to action for all of Africa. Stay with us, because this isn't just a story, it's about the future our ancestors envisioned. If that resonates with you, hit subscribe, not just for this video, but for the cause. It started quietly, not with bold headlines or conflict, but with calculated, subtle steps. Between 2008 and 2016, over 50,000 Chinese nationals arrived in Ghana. They came without ceremony, armed with detailed plans to mine gold from land they didn't own in a nation they didn't cherish. From 2018 to 2019, immigration data revealed a staggering influx. 680,000 Chinese nationals entered Ghana. This wasn't a random movement. It was a deliberate, orchestrated wave. They brought money, piles of cash to secure access, loyalty, and silence. They brought equipment, illegal Changfa dredges that tore through riverbeds. They brought strategies, bribing local leaders, forging permits, and dodging regulations. They ventured into forest reserves, carved paths through cocoa plantations, and set up hidden camps deep in the wilderness, out of sight from satellites and patrols. Nearby villages felt the impact. Dust clouded the air, rivers turned murky, and hills were leveled where gold once lay untouched. The term galamsey echoed through communities, but this wasn't the work of local youth with shovels. This was large-scale, foreign-funded extraction. Children developed skin rashes from polluted water. Farmers saw crops wither in mercury-contaminated soil. Fishermen came back with empty nets. Sacred groves, preserved for generations, were destroyed without notice. Local authorities struggled to respond. In some areas, they gave up. In others, they were complicit, either bribed to ignore violations or convinced resistance was futile. Forest rangers became private escorts. District officials approved illegal land leases. Immigration officers processed entries without scrutiny. Mining inspectors overlooked entire operations. In towns like Wassa, Akrepong, Tarkwa, and Obuasi, residents noticed the signs: excavators hidden under tarps, water tanks filled under cover of night, and Chinese characters subtly marked on containers deep in the forest. Permits were falsified, company names changed frequently, local frontmen were hired to disguise foreign operations. The Minerals and Mining Act was overlooked. Section 99, which banned foreigners from small-scale mining, was merely words on paper. The law existed, but it lacked enforcement, weakened by corruption. In 2013, authorities arrested over 124 Chinese nationals in coordinated operations. Many were freed within weeks. Some resumed work, while others never left. The gold they mined vanished through secret channels, smuggled under cover of darkness, funneled through fake companies, and exported without revealing its true cost. Ecosystems suffered greatly. The Ankobra and Prey rivers grew murky, mangroves died off, fish numbers crashed, insects disappeared, birds fled, machines drowned out the forest's natural sounds. Local communities watched. Some resisted, others adapted, and a few joined in. Yet the scale of mining remained unchanged. What was once small-scale mining had grown large enough to reshape landscapes, erase landmarks, and attract global attention. This wasn't a one-time event. It was a steady, ongoing process, quiet, relentless, and efficient. It left lasting scars on the land and in the hearts of those who saw what was lost. The rivers frothed, the land groaned, and the trees fell silent. But someone listened. His name was Honolulu Mare Mubarak, a young, determined member of parliament who refused to stay quiet as Ghana's resources were exploited. In 2019, his voice echoed through the parliamentary chamber like an alarm. He stressed that the law already existed. It didn't need rewriting, only enforcement. The Minerals and Mining Act of 2006, updated in 2015 and 2019, was clear. Section 99, Clause 3. No foreigner could engage in small-scale mining, not through local partners, shell companies, or fake leases. The law promised strict penalties, 20 to 25 years in prison, no leniency, fines alongside jail time, and no deportation until the full sentence was served in Ghana. It was bold only because it was finally enforced. Under public pressure, the government launched Operation Vanguard in 2017. It wasn't just a campaign, it was a firm crackdown. Within months, over 302 illegal machines, dredgers, excavators, and processing units were destroyed. More than 1,000 people, including foreign nationals and local accomplices, were arrested. Troops patrolled river basins. Forest monitoring resumed. Drones scanned forests for signs of illegal mines. But the damage was already severe. Reports from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources revealed that over 100,000 hectares of farmland were ruined. Cocoa plantations were uprooted, palm groves leveled, and villages left barren. In the eastern and western regions, families abandoned ancestral lands, now scarred by pits, chemicals, and silence. Mercury levels in the Pra and Ofin rivers were 10 times above safe limits. Children left school to fetch clean water, and some never returned. Courts became busy. By 2021, Ghana had prosecuted and convicted over 76 illegal mining cases, with sentences spanning decades. Another 850 cases awaited trial. Complex, but progressing. Yet for every miner jailed, others kept digging. For every success, another forest suffered. Honolulu Mare Mubarak didn't create a law, he demanded its use. In televised interviews, he showed images of rivers turned to mud, children with skin lesions, and elders holding bowls of polluted water. He declared, "We are not poor, our wealth is stolen, our poverty is planned." He advocated for increased funding for the Forestry Commission, more patrols, satellite monitoring for nighttime operations, and independent reviews of mining permits. Not everyone agreed with him. Some called him a troublemaker. Others hinted he might vanish like past reformers. But the numbers fueled his resolve. 1,000 machines destroyed, 1,000 arrests, and over 100,000 hectares lost. The law stood firm because he stood firm. When the forests cried out again, they knew someone was listening. In Gwanga, it happened on a Wednesday. A young Ghanaian student missed his visa renewal by 5 days. He was studying engineering and working part-time in a logistics warehouse. At an immigration checkpoint, there was no negotiation. He was detained, transferred, and processed without access to an embassy or lawyer. On a Friday in Iwu, 2 Ghanaian traders were detained during a routine inspection. Their work permits showed inconsistencies in reported earnings, leading to their imprisonment within days. In Shenzhen, a Ghanaian barber who overstayed his tourist visa by 3 months was apprehended in a random check and transferred to a detention center on the city's edge. No prior notice, no hearing. This is not an isolated incident. Data shows at least 5 Ghanaians are arrested in China weekly, totaling 260 annually. Most face charges for administrative issues, paperwork errors, visa overstays, or permit discrepancies. No one pleads for their release. No leniency is offered. They serve full sentences without media attention or public support. There are no headlines, no diplomatic gestures, only strict protocol, swift, silent, and unyielding. In Ghana, however, the scene shifts. In Takwa, SUVs with foreign plates cruise through town. Inside, men wearing sunglasses, speaking minimal Twi, direct local workers. Their camps, hidden behind zinc fences, hewn with machinery all day. No permits are visible. In Dunkwa Nofin, locals observe Chinese nationals unloading generators near the forest's edge without uniforms or ID checks. The nearby police station remains silent. In Obuasi, container homes line roads, equipped with satellite dishes and new motorbikes. Chinese operators shop and dine openly, running gold mining operations in broad daylight. Local journalists hesitate, their editors feel calls, and police files stay under review. When Chinese nationals are arrested for illegal mining, some face sentences 14, 15, or 18 years. Others are quietly deported. Some even return. The disparity is stark. In China, Ghanaians face jail for overstaying visas. In Ghana, Chinese nationals often receive lighter consequences, rarely serving full terms. The question echoes in village squares and taxi ranks. If China shows no mercy to Ghanaians, why does Ghana spare Chinese nationals? An elder in Bibiani, standing by a polluted river, put it clearly: we are not treated as animals in their land. Why do we allow them to act like royalty in ours? In 2025, 4 Chinese nationals were detained in Aransiasokwa during a dawn raid. 7 machines were confiscated. The community cheered, but the case has stalled. The numbers persist: 260 Ghanaians jailed yearly in China, while SUVs driven by illegal miners roll through Ghana's towns. No trade agreement justifies this. No cultural exchange balances it. The question remains, not theoretical but practical, for those walking poisoned fields, seeing foreign flags beside uprooted trees. If justice is a scale, why does it tip? If punishment is universal, why does it fall unevenly? If laws are mutual, why does mercy favor one side? For those who feel this deeply, who believe dignity is non-negotiable, comment Amen. Share your perspective, let your voice matter. An explosion shattered a quiet plot of land, a place where children once played, chasing tires and crafting dreams from sticks near a school's old tree line. What remained was a crater, torn earth, and silence. No investigation followed, no apology came. The Chinese company operating nearby, responsible for the dynamite, offered no accountability. The land wasn't theirs, but the consequences burdened local families, frightened teachers, and children who no longer played. No headlines emerged, just another scar. Across Ghana, similar stories unfold in districts where Chinese mining camps operate under tarps and questionable permits. Explosives are buried without approved surveys. Chemicals seep time into ancient streams. Complaints are met with claims of job creation. Resistance is dismissed as futile. The damage extends beyond Ghana's borders, leaving lasting wounds into democratic streams. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, mines owned by Chinese companies have transformed villages into dusty, polluted zones. Cobalt is shipped out in containers, while children remain plagued by illness. In Zambia, local workers pass by Chinese-built complexes with satellite dishes and water reservoirs, yet their own homes lack power. In Nigeria, gold flows into global markets through intermediaries tied to China, with little profit reaching locals. Many are left with barren pits, waste, and silence. Sierra Leone's seas are patrolled by foreign vessels marked with Mandarin, leaving fishermen with empty nets and no income. This isn't partnership, it's exploitation. And when we ask why this persists, the answer isn't just about leadership. Silence isn't always forced, sometimes it's chosen. Some villages have grown accustomed to the hum of machines at night. Some leaders accept bribes over accountability. Some radio stations avoid the issue and some reporters don't hit record. We're told not to cause a stir, not to challenge our allies. But what kind of alliance shrinks your wealth yearly? What deal poisons your crops, your water, your tomorrow? This isn't about outsiders. It's about justice. China's presence is clear. Its flags, its vehicles, its agreements. It constructs, but it also depletes. It invests, yet it extracts. And in many regions, it operates boldly, knowing few will speak out. This isn't just Ghana's tale, it's Africa's reflection. Similar scenes echo across the continent. Villages turned into industrial zones, rivers reduced to toxic streams. Each case poses a simple question. Who are we in this narrative? The facts are undeniable. Ghana loses $2,300,000,000 0 cents annually to illegal gold mining. Not a guess, but a documented economic drain. 60% of Ghana's freshwater is now contaminated with mercury, cyanide, and fuel runoff from unregulated mines. Streams once used for ceremonies now irritate skin. Wells once pure now spread sickness. Yet the machinery keeps running and the gold keeps vanishing. The issue isn't just what's happening, it's what will remain if this continues. No forest lasts forever, no river can endlessly cleanse itself, no soil can yield crops where chemicals and fuel have seeped into its core. This isn't merely environmental decline, it's the theft of our legacy, a gradual erasure of what's owed to future generations. What will we say to the next child who asks, "Where's the river you drank from?" How will we respond when they question, "Why is our land owned by others?" Laws exist, but they need enforcement. Section 99 is only as effective as its application. A policy without action, without patrols, oversight, or accountability is just words on paper. Inspection teams need funding, protection, and autonomy to function. Anti-mining task forces must operate free from political interference or corruption. Forest rangers should be equipped not just to protect trees, but to safeguard our sovereignty. Beyond enforcement, education is vital. No nation endures without understanding its past. We must teach our youth the meaning of ownership, not through slogans, but through stories, maps, and laws. They need to know which lands were once sacred, which rivers nourished their ancestors. Long before agreements were drafted in foreign languages, these hills cradled treasures. The land is not a gift to be given away, it is an inheritance. Those who seek to take it must understand it is being claimed openly. If we remain silent, the land will not endure. It will erode, crumble, parch, and vanish. We will awaken in a place that was once ours but no longer is. Deeds will bear unfamiliar names. Water will come from afar. The wealth will be gone, leaving only tales of our inaction. This is not inevitable. Standing firm is not a dream. It is achievable. It starts with justice, it grows with bravery, it concludes with honor reclaimed, but it demands a daily choice. To speak out, to document, to stand tall, to preserve memory. Our silence grants them permission. Our voices spark change. From Aklan to Abidjan, from Ghana's golden streams to Zambia's copper valleys, across this continent, the forests whisper. The earth stirs. Rivers struggle under foreign pollutants, and the air grows thick with unspoken truths. The land is not merely harmed, it is grieving. Yet, there is still time. We are the generation born into this struggle. We did not choose this battle, but it confronts us nonetheless. If we look away, who will follow? If we fail to protect what is ours, what will remain? Raised on tales of kings, queens, warriors, and wisdom, we know stories alone cannot safeguard our heritage. We must act, not only with words, but with law, understanding, and solidarity. We must be louder than the machines, stronger than the temptations, and wiser than the contracts penned in distant lands. If we delay, one more year, one more mine, one more deal, we will awaken to a continent that has forgotten its sovereignty. Do you see Africa being carved away piece by piece? Do you believe our generation can halt this cycle of loss? If this truth weighs on your heart, if your spirit feels its burden, let your voice rise. Share your story below. Tell us what you've witnessed. Speak what your community knows. Join your voice to ours. If this message resonates in your soul, like the call of ancestors or the cry of the earth, share this video, like it, comment, and subscribe. Not for us, but for Africa. Not just for today, but for tomorrow. Not only for the pain, but for the restoration. Not merely for the story, but for the revolution. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.